Welcome back to Advanced Business Correspondence. I'm your teacher, Lisa. Are you ready for today's lesson? Well, today we have a great lesson for you, but before we move on, let me take a few seconds to review what we have covered last chapter. Last chapter, we learned how to write a letter to request to establish business relations with other companies. Okay, follow a 4-point plan framework. Here are what you need to pay attention to. In your first paragraph, what you need to do, you need to tell the company, where did you get those information, their contact information. And then the second paragraph, you might want to talk about a little bit about yourself, and also to tell them what do you want. Okay, it's the purpose of the letter you stated. And then you might want to talk about something that will encourage the person, the company, to respond to your letter. And the last part, paragraph, you might want to encourage them to give you a prompt reply. 同学们，这是上周我们所学到的重点。每一个 paragraph 都有它的特点按照这4个段落的写作方式，当你在请别人要跟别人建立商务关系的时候，这些是一些写作每一个段落的重点之一，不能忘记。And today we're going to move on to how to reply to a letter that requests to establish business relations with your company. So here are what we're going to do. We're going to take a closer look at the chapter focus. Here we go. Okay, the first chapter focus is to learn to reply to a letter requesting to establish business relations. 今天的这个重点很单纯，就是我们要学习怎么样回答，当别人要跟你建立商务关系的时候，你怎么回应这样子的一封信。Alright, students, you need to know the main characteristic of writing a letter of response is send without delay. Where your prompt reply show that your courtesy, and also demonstrate your efficiency and dynamic approach. Well, it's not only that, you also tell your reader that you're concerned about them, you're concerned about how they feel, and you're also concerned about their business. 同学们，当你写一封回复信函的时候，要谨记一个重点，就是你要尽速的回答，因为这样子的态度呢，让对方知道你们很有效率，很有高度的行动力，而且你也很关心对方的 business，这是写作的基本的一个态度跟精神。我要一封典型的回复的信函you just need to remember to keep it short and to the point. 简短而且说得清楚。现在我们就来看follow a 4-point plan framework. How do you do your paragraph work? Here we go. Okay, the first section is the opening, or what we say introduction. You need to make sure make the reference clear and answer the main inquiry. 在第一段你要提出的就是你要很清楚的说明到底这封信是什么时间，如果有 reference 要很清楚的标示，还有很清楚的回答对方的要求是什么。Okay, 第二个 main section. Okay, you give a little more details. You state what action you are going to take. 在这一段，你可能会清楚的让对方知道你的反应、你的态度，你会采取什么样的行动。第三个 Okay, in this section, you might want to give them your response. If you are going to build up relationship with them, you may want to make your payment term clear from the start. 如果你要跟对方建立关系，可能这个时候你很合适的就是让对方知道你们有没有任何的付款的要求。特别是在你们公司要跟对方建立关系，对方跟你的商务关系是有可能 go further, and then it would be a great time to mention your payment plan. And the fourth section is a closing, where you just invite the prospect to start trading immediately. OK， 如果对方是会跟你建立商务关系，或你有兴趣，那么这一段最后一段你就可以鼓励他们尽快的跟你们建立商务关系。OK, right now let's look at the today's scenario. Today's scenario is continued from last chapter. Champion Sports Limited received Peter Zhang's message, and now it's a letter written back to Peter Zhang from the Champion Sports Limited. 上周 Peter Zhang 写了一封信给 Sports Limited, 所以现在Champion Sports Limited write a letter back to Peter Zhang. Peter Zhang 要跟他们建立商务关系。我们看 Champion Sports 怎么回答。All right， 这封信看到了 letterhead 是公司Champion Sports Limited 发出来的一封信。我们也看到右手边这个 reference very clear。还记得刚刚第一段老师说，你的 opening 要很清楚的说明 reference 的那个details， 在这里很清楚的标示对方的 reference 他们的 reference 还有日期，还有 inside address is so clear clear here as well. Peter Zhang 他的 inside address 信件，然后我们看最后签名，记住这是一封信，签名一定要记住，如果没有签名不能寄出这封信的了哈。Alright， 还有刚刚很有 detail 的 information, we will talk about it when we come to check it out. Okay, stay with us. Check it out. All right, in the check it out section, we're going to take a closer look at the details information by asking these questions prepared for you. Okay, let's take a look. The first question. What did you learn from the references? OK， 到底从暗号当中我们得知了什么？我们再回来看这封信的 reference section。OK， 从 reference section 我们看到了it's not only talk about your reference， 它不是只有指出对方的 reference，but also it added more with our reference， 也就是他自己也有他的 reference 的暗号的编排的方式。当然，在商用书信里头，首先很重要的就是，如果对方有 reference， 你马上要把对方的 reference 列出来。Your reference 一定是在 our reference 的前面。Next question, where was the date placed? 日期放在哪里？我们看这封信的日期，它放在 reference section 的下面 ，October 21st, 2008。Well， 同学们知道这个日期有时候它会放在左边，在 inside address 的上边或下面。It's fine。这封信它是放在 reference 的下边。Well, maybe 同学们已经从这么多讲次学到这里，知道日期的放置好像选择性还挺多的哈。所以你看这个公司的日期文书的日期，大部分的习惯是放在哪里，你就继续的这样子做就可以了。只要保持你们公司的文书作业的一致性。That will be fine. Sometimes put above inside address, sometimes put underneath the inside address, and this example put underneath the reference section. They are all acceptable. Now let's move on to next question. Why did this letter mention the date in the first paragraph? 为什么这封信的第一段一开头就提到日期？我们来看这封信里头一开始怎么说。他说 Thank you for your letter of the 10th of this month. Well, 同学们这里的意思就是他一开始就 indicate 这个日期 It helps the recipient to locate their file. And also, 因为它是10号，你收到信的时间，你回信是10月21号。Well, somehow it also show your reader that your efficiency, okay? You didn't take too long to answer their their respond to their later. So somehow it indicates that your proficiency, your efficiency. 当然，最重要的是 you help the reader to quickly locate their file. OK， 这封信它是回我们哪一天哪一个日期的信 ？That is for that reason. There's one more question. Let's take another look. What does the ENCL mean? 这个到底是什么 ？ENCL 到底是什么意思呢？ Well, that means the enclosure， 也就是在信件当中，你有提到你会随信附上什么东西 ？Okay, now you talk about you 随信附上一份的 copy catalog and also 2 copies price list。价目表有2份，同学们要记住，当你在信里头说到说我会随信附什么东西的时候，最后的 later 的最下边，你一定要标示 ENCL， 意思就是我有什么附件。这附件当中也要标示到底是几份几张，这个都应该清楚的说明。That is a professional way to handle correspondence. The reason why you need to do that because sometimes 处理文书的这个小姐，她打开信的时候，可能掉了或什么，所以等到送到这个经理人的手中的时候，发现怎么没有附件，所以如果你有标示，对方就可以 double check。所以你的信跟你的附件都是在一起的，万一没有附上，那么他还可以回头向你说明他没收到。So that's for that purpose. All right, right now let's take a break and we'll come back in a minute. Well, we have some writing tips for you for this chapter. 我们有一些的写作的技巧，针对这样子的回信。首先老师觉得你应该 reply promptly. OK， 不管什么样的情况下 ，you need to 马上回复。And the next one, I think you need to keep it brief and to the point， 很简单，很扼要。And also you want to respond specifically about what they inquire. 他们要求什么，你就针对他们所要的回应。接下去老师会给你一些alternative， 就是一些可以参考的例句，供同学们参考。首先在第一段里头 ，Well, what you need to do, you tell the reader why you are writing. You're actually writing to respond to their letter. 为什么你写这封信？事实上，你写这封信是回应他另外一天的来信，所以这是可以参考的例句如下。Thank you for your letter of the 10th of this month. Or you can say, We are glad to receive your letter of October 10th. Or, We appreciate your letter of October 10th. Well, the next, you might want to give a clear answer to their inquiry. 你针对他们的询问事项清楚的回答。Well, here are the examples. We would be delighted to establish business relations with your firm. Or you can say, it is great to know that you are interested in establishing a business relationship with us. 所以同学们在这第一段当中，你大概掌握这2个重点 ，OK？ 也说到他们写信来的时间，然后你很快的告诉他你要不要跟他建立商务的关系，在这第一段里头，你就很清楚的说明。What about the second paragraph? What you need to answer? Well, you need to answer a specific request they had in the letter. 根据他们所要求的事项，确实的回答。Here are some examples you can mention. You can write like this. Enclosed are our latest catalog and price list. Or you can say, we're glad to send you information about our products. What if you were sending them separately from the letter? Then you said it this way. 如果你是分别寄出的，那么你也要这样子特别的说明。我们来看，你可以怎么写呢？你可以说 We are sending a catalog under separate cover. Or you can say, by separate mail, we are sending you our latest catalog with the lowest price. Okay, lowest prices. 在第二段呢，基本上你要掌握的一个重点就是你要根据对方所要求的比如说对方要求跟你建立商务关系，这个时候你是愿意的，那么这时候你在这一段的写作呢，可能你就是要告诉对方你会采取的一个行动这个行动就是你会怎么做，你会寄出更多的 information 给他，可能你就是随信附上一些关于公司的产品或目录或者是 price list 价目表 and you mention it in this paragraph. What about the third paragraph? What should you pay attention to? Let's take a closer look. Well, the third paragraph, you may want to make your payment term clear from the start. 在第三段呢，如果你是要跟对方更进一步有建立商务关系，这个时候呢，老师觉得你很适合就开始提到你的付款的条件，你比较希望的一个 payment plan. It's appropriate time to mention it here, especially if you want to get a further relationship with this firm. But what if not? 如果你不是呢，那在这一段呢，你可能如果对方不是很合适的话，你因为你的 payment plan 写出来，对方也大概可以知道情况是不是适合跟你们公司建立商务关系。But anyway, in this paragraph, you can mention that. Okay, let's take a closer look. All right, payment should be made by irrevocable and confirmed letter of credit.Or you can say our company policy is to ask for payment by bill of exchange. 在这段里头，付款的条件可以说因为这是很适合的一个时间，你不需要写的很 details， 比如说你要把什么样的更 detail 的这个付款条件可以 later， 但是在这里至少可以说一下你们期待的一个方式 that would be appropriate to mention it here. What about the closing section? What should you talk about in this section? Now let's take a closer look at our example. Well, in the fourth paragraph, you need to encourage further contact. 在第四段呢，你就是要鼓励别人，鼓励对方有进一步的联系，特别是发生在你要跟对方建立商务关系。Okay, here are the example. You can say, should you wish to place an order, please email or fax us. Or you can say, if you would like to place an order, please contact me at this address. 最后一段当然当你要跟对方回应对方要跟你建立商务关系，而且你也有意愿的时候，最后一段你就是要 encourage them to contact you immediately, and you give them a more detailed information to contact with. Even you can mention the name, the person who in charge of this business. 事实上，在最后一段，当你要跟对方进一步发展商务关系的时候，这是很适合的。你可以提出很仔细的一个联络的人名，或者是 email， 或者是电话，让对方很方便的来跟这个公司的负责人联系。这是在回应别人要跟你 establish business relations 这种商务关系的一个回信的重点。And right now we are ready to take questions. As you know, the section question and answer, some of my students after take this course and they have some question. So their questions, I'm going to answer them in a minute. So you pay attention to their questions and to my answer. If you have more questions, you can also write me and tell me what is your question. Okay, here we go. Question and answer.
老师，在 reply 对方的要求资料时，是否适合主动附上一些附件来说明本公司是适合商业往来的理想对象呢？
Well, 是可以的。You can 主动的提出一些 information 来说明你的公司是不是适合对方当然可以。但是老师觉得你就是把握一个原则 ，You don't talk about too much at the first letter to respond to their letter. OK， 在第一封你回应对方信件的时候 ，I don't think it's appropriate to mention too much information about your company, but you do want to highlight. 你当然要说出一些你公司的卖点或者是好的地方，但是just keep it short and keep it brief. That was the idea. OK, next question.
如果我接到了一封不想建立关系的公司的来信，我是否还需要回信呢？如果需要，我该如何回比较适当呢？
Well， 接到一封你并不想建立关系的这种来信，大部分的人就是 ignore 就是不理会它。Well， 虽然是大部分人这么做，但是老师觉得，一个比较负责任、比较眼光放比较远的公司来说，老师觉得你应该要回应，即使你并不想跟对方建立关系，或者是对方并不是适合的，这个时候你还是可以给他一个 immediate reply, and to thank them, to contact your company, and you tell them it's not, you are not, the 公司 probably is not the one they are looking for. 你还是可以说，甚至你可以说出，就是是不是你有一些相关的公司可以partner 可以提供给他参考，这些都是一个比较专业的一个文书处理的态度应该做的。还有一个就是同学们，老师刚刚说眼光看远一点 ，maybe for a short term, this is not the right time, right company, but you don't know next time. You don't know in the near future, maybe that company will be the right one, and maybe you will be the right one to that company. So never never said something definitely 不是马上就说不合适。And by the way， 还是要回信才是专业的回答方式。Okay, next one.
老师，你说在回信的时候，也是要分成4段落来写，依照来信者的问题一一回答。那我们在建立关系的回函中，也在最后一段也是要写 I am looking forward to hear from you soon 吗？还是要写点别的？
Well, 同学们 I'm looking forward to hearing from you, or I'm looking forward to your reply. 这样子的结尾，你会常常看到在商业书信里头常常出现。老师觉得唯一的使不使用这句话适不适合，老师觉得 it depends 你的信件的目的是什么。像比如说，如果这封信你是要回应对方，而且你是说你们公司并不适合跟他建立商务关系，那么显然的这一句我期待听到你的回应，这封信就不 fit 这个 purpose of this letter. And of course you don't use it. But as long as this letter fit the purpose of your letter, like you want to establish business relation with them, and that would be appropriate. You can say, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. That would be fine. 同学们，还有一个就是为什么你会问这个问题，老师也想到，很多时候你在写这个句子的时候，你 somehow 你觉得好像需要 be creative 结尾是不是要特别的不一样？事实上，在商场上的书信是不太需要有什么变化的，因为在商场上大家都很忙，只要这个correspondence later communicate your thinking, your idea, that will be enough. 所以你不要在商用书信里头用太多的创造力去写一封信。其实大家能够熟悉的那个句型还有句子就够了。那希望这个回答你的题目只要是 fit 这个 purpose, you can use it. Otherwise, you don't use it. All right. Thank you for those questions. They are good questions. Well, it's time the students, after we learn so much about writing a letter to respond to people who want to establish business relation with you, I think it's time we're doing some writing exercise. In our writing exercise, we're going to look at the scenario first. Okay, here we go. Today's scenario is in response to Samuel Watson, a general manager from SafePack International Incorporation. Okay, here's the address and dated on December 12th. There's a reference number here, SW-OAOO, okay, which asks to establish business relations with them, as well as a request for their newest catalog. 在这封书信里头这个 exercise 你要回应这个人要跟你们建立商务关系，如果你要回答他，你会怎么做呢？我们现在来看这个 answer。All right， 首先在 inside address 很重要的哈老师要先 point it， 就是你一定要用公司的性质来回应这封信，所以 company letterhead 一定有。接下去 inside address 我们看到了很清楚的这个人名，还有他的职称 general manager 不可以忘记，因为这是商用书信里头很重要的，就是对方的名字一完，他的职称你要给他说明，这是尊重。最后是一个他的 inside address。OK， 下边是 reference section。OK， 对方写信来了，所以他有 reference， 所以你一定要把 your reference 很快的写他们的 reference 是什么。对方的来信一定是 our reference， 那你回信的时候就要把他的 our reference 放在 your reference。OK， 那接下去是你自己的 reference。好了 ，Dear Mr. Watson， 称呼很 salutation， 还记得吗？他既然有信，你不可以直接称 Sam， 你最好就是用 Dear Mr. Watson。在第一段里头，我们先说明你是哪一天是回答他哪一天的信，所以说他这里说 We are glad to receive your letter of December 12th.We will be delighted to establish business relations with your firm. 所以在第一段里头，他说明到日期，我是回答你哪一天的来信。同时，他也说明了 We will be delighted， 我们会很高兴跟你 establish business relations。所以这样子，对方一下子就可以从第一段就可以知道 the purpose of this letter. This letter is saying yes.They are going to establish business relationship with you. So that's a good start. And now let's move on to the next paragraph. Okay, since you are going to establish business relations with them, so you talk about further action. What you would do, you talk about you will enclose a copy of your newest letter catalog. 这个是回应他在信件里头回应对方的信，是说明他要你们的 newest catalog。所以在第二段你就说明了我们会寄给你，我们就是随信附上。那第三段说什么呢？Well， 第三段说到了他这边很显然的按照我们所学的，他说到 All company policies to ask for payment by bill of exchange， 我们是要有特别的 payment 的 plan。最后他就希望对方可以跟谁联系If you would like to place an order。Please contact me at 这个住址，所以很清楚的给对方。然后这个signature block, you look at that, there was a signature and also the enclosure. 因为它 enclose 了一个newest catalog， 所以它很快的就在这边提出来。Well， 同学们，这封sample 的这封 exercise 的信件。在你的书上就有这些答案，也有这些detailed 的 information. And I hope today that you did learn the main elements, the main idea to compose a letter, to respond to request of establishing relationship with your company. So these are the information for you, and I hope you use it, what you learn from this course. Well, we have more to learn next chapter. I hope you'll tune in on time and you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.